Hello and welcome. My name is Janik and I'm the CTO of NeuroSync. My main tasks for NeuroSync are to make sure that everything runs smoothly in our technical web app and in the future also in our application. In today's session, I want to show you how I'm going to implement the feedback system that we currently have for our first user testing that you might be able to join in February, where you can directly give us feedback within the application that we can then collect and work on. So let's start. As you can see, this is the current development version of our web page, and I'm already at the feedback location. So if you're going to land here in the first place, let me refresh that quick. So this is how the current starting page looks like. At the moment, there are no events in here. That's why this looks kind of empty. And as I said previously, today I want to focus on the feedback. So you can already see I've been working on this a little bit. We already have the whole UI component implemented. So I could write feedback in here, but currently this is not being saved into our database that we have in the background. So at the moment it's not saved, and we're already jumping back to the calendar view. So in today's session, we're going to integrate the database connection. So let's just jump into the code and let's quickly go to our component where we have our feedback. Right. So this code handles the UI component of our this handles the UI component of the feedback, and I can also to show you now how we can work together with AI, because I'm also using AI as a modern developer to improve my coding. So you're also going to see a little bit of this in today's session. So for example, here we have the button, so we can close the window. So this corresponds with this button right here. And the submit button corresponds to this button right here. We also have here the connection, so to actually do something when we click on this button. So this is a handler, it's called onClick, and I have a function already that's handle submit. And what it currently does, it just pops up this alert with feedback submitted and the feedback text. So this is what I already showed you. And I click submit, and then we have here this alert. And now we want to change that it's actually saving something into our database. To communicate with our database, we have a GraphQL. We're using GraphQL, and GraphQL, let me close everything we currently don't need. Right, and right, this is where we have our, where is it? Here, GraphQL resolvers and schemas. So we need to define schemas or data types that we are using that we are passing to our database or retrieving from our database. For example, this is an event, so we have a user ID, a title, description, start time, etc. And now what we want to do is we want to create a new object, a new type that's called that's going to be connected to the user. So we need a new type that we're probably calling feedback, and this is just going to have at the moment a feedback text, And then we're going to save that in our database. And this is going to be linked to the user ID. So we always know which user submitted this ID. Or actually, we might want to be, as you want to probably do anonymous feedback, we are not going to save the ID and just going to have a feedback tab where we're going to store feedback. So as I'm quite lazy and I'm a developer, I'm going to ask the AI to do it for me. So I'm going to say create a feedback type that contains a string value text. I want to create a resolver that saves that feedback into my database. Oops. And as a context, I gave the AI my files, so it knows what my files look like. And now it's going to explain what it's going to do. So we're in the schema. We're going to define this feedback type. It's going to have an ID, a text, and create it. So now I can hit apply. And now it's going to insert that into into my schema types, into my schema file. So we have feedback with the text, and we have the mutation that we need to actually save that. So mutation is basically a function. And in my resolvers TS now I need to add this save feedback. So this is going in here into our mutation. And of course, now do we need to insert the type? Yes, because I added anything, I have a function that can generate these types for me in TypeScript based on my types from GraphQL. So I'm going to run that really quick, because then I can insert here the feedback. And now it knows, so TypeScript always wants to know the type, so there aren't any issues with IDs that are in the object itself. So we're going to create a new collection feedback, and in there we're saving this. Now, for example, here's a new issue with, so because it's not a string, so it was saying that it's not a string, so now we're converting the timestamp into a string. So here we're creating it, and then we're taking the current timestamp and adding that. So now we basically already have the connection to the database done. Now we just need to call that function when we are in our feedback component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it as a new context my feedback UI file. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to give it again, now I can say, now add the call to the submit button. And because we also don't want that we can send empty text, it should only be able to be, can only submit something if you enter text. You should only be able to press submit when text of a so also that we can't get spammed, I'm probably going to give it like a minimum of characters, so text, so that you can't spam it so much. The text inside has a minimum of 10 characters. It should display that information when the user has not entered 10 characters and hit submit. Okay, I just seen that it hasn't really gotten the context that I want to add the feedback. So let me also add this, the context again. So now I should be able to hit apply, and then we should be good to go. Then we're going to test it out and see if it actually works. So now it shows me all the things that it's created and deleted. So we're having now our save feedback function that we are defining here. So let me accept all. So what we actually did now is, so when we're hitting submit, we're still calling the handle submit function. Then we're checking if we have a character length of at least 10 characters, and then we're setting an error and displaying this error. This is now added here, so only if we have the error set, then it's going to be displayed. So the user has a feedback that it needs to enter more characters. And then it's just going to try to call the mutation and save the feedback to the database. So let's check it out. Let me quickly refresh. This is a test feedback. So let's hit submit. Feedback submitted successfully. And now let's see in our database if we actually can see it. And I'm quickly going to show it to you. Right here, we have our feedback as a new collection, and here we can see all the feedback. Great. Let's quickly also test if the error handling works properly. I'm also going to remove the alert because we don't want that in the release version. So let's quickly test the error. So I'm just going to send nothing in this case. And then we have here, and it's really great with, it already knew Spirit should roughly display it. And now we can see, okay, I need to enter it. Okay, great. This is perfect. And let me quickly check again. It's in here. Great. So we already solved our goal in a couple of minutes. That's really great. So thank you so much for listening and having a look at my little coding session right here. If you enjoyed that and want to see more, please hit the like button, subscribe to our Instagram, to our TikTok. And also, if you're really interested, you can join our waitlist down there in the description. And I see you hopefully in the next video. See you soon. Bye.